Straight into birth charts. Ariana is a Cancer Sun, Libra Moon, Cap Rising, Cancer Mercury, Taurus Venus, and Virgo Mars. And Mac is a Capricorn Sun, Cancer Moon, Aquarius Rising, Capricorn Mercury, Sag Venus, and Capricorn Mars. So we are starting in the winter of 2012. Mac is 20, almost 21 at this point. Ariana is 19. So it's November 22nd, it's Thanksgiving, and Ariana tweets, "Watching the parade from the couch all warm and cozy in our apartment. What are you thankful for at the moment?" Pretty standard celebrity tweet. Mac then replied to the tweet and said, "The Velvet Revival," to which Ariana replied, "I'm excited to listen to it. Happy Thanksgiving." So then Mac takes it a step further and says, "Happy Thanksgiving to you too. The homie Larry Lovestein wants to do a duet," which he is Larry Lovestein. That's his alter ego, I guess you could say. I don't know. Y'all know what I mean. And then she replied, "Tell Larry I'd love to." And then he told her to check her DMs. I give that little smile, but at the time, Ariana was dating Jai Brooks, which we don't really need to go into the details of their relationship. All I will really say is he's the boyfriend from the donut video. Do y'all remember that? It was such a scandal. And I remember it vividly because honestly, I didn't really figure it out at the time. But when I was vegan, I heard about it and I was like appalled that she was vegan and she would lick a donut that's not vegan. How dare she? Also, if any of you comment about my nails, I'm aware, okay? I know. So then December 25th, Christmas Day, about a month later, Ariana and Mac release a cover of Baby It's Cold Outside together. So either they got this song done incredibly fast, which honestly, they probably could, it's just a cover, or that was a PR stunt on Thanksgiving to tease their collaboration. Either way, after this, they were hanging out and supposedly were good friends. And then March 26th of 2013, Ariana releases The Way featuring Mac Miller. This was one of her transition songs from Nickelodeon kid to adult, which she was well aware of at the time as well. And supposedly she had already done her portion for the song and then she thought of Mac as good for the collaboration because they were already friends. So she also said that she baked him cookies while he was writing his portion of the song, and she said, "If you want to motivate Mac Miller to do anything, just bake cookies." So he was a very normal person is what I'm hearing. And by the way, this song was on her album where she also had a song with Nathan Sykes and a song with Big Sean, who she both ended up dating as well. March 28th, 2013, a couple days later, The Way music video comes out. And very obviously, there is a lot of chemistry going on. And at the end, they did kiss, which made people freak out, and dating rumors immediately began. Even though, again, she had a boyfriend. And actually, apparently, they did not originally intend on doing the kiss, but the director last minute asked them to do it, and they just went for it. So, good directing. On March 30th, Mac did an interview about the song, and he said about Ariana, "That's the homie. She's got a boyfriend and everything. Obviously, that kiss made everyone talk." And he also called her one of the nicest people he'd met in his life. Very complimentary. And later on that year in July, he did another interview where he talked about Ariana. They were still promoting The Way. This shit got promoted hard. And he said, "She's the greatest person in the world. She's like an angel. She's very nice. She's like a sweet girl." And he also said that Ariana would come over and they would make weird songs that won't ever come out. I would be interested in taking a listen. However, on the other hand, also in July, on the 19th, Ariana did an interview and they asked her to rate Mac's kissing on a scale of 1 to 10, and she gave him a 1. Now, she did say it was because he smoked cigarettes. Did you hear that, kids? Don't smoke. Anyways, keep in mind, she is in a relationship, so what is she going to do, like gush about making out with another guy? That wouldn't be a great move. But she did say, though, that he was a great friend and family. However, in August of 2013, Ariana and Jai Brooks broke up. And this was around the time that she released Always Is Never Enough, which was her song with Nathan Sykes. And there were tons of rumors that she was leaving Jai for him. And this is Nathan Sykes, by the way. Jai did end up accusing her of cheating on Twitter, and she completely denied it and said that he had threatened to ruin her reputation if she left him. Anyways, that's for a different series. All we really need to know for now is that Ariana was dating other people now. She dated Nathan Sykes, she dated Big Sean, she dated Ricky Alvarez, all between 2013 and 2016. And Mac at the time was dating his high school sweetheart, Naomi Leisure, and they broke up in 2015, 2016. We don't know exactly because obviously she wasn't really in the limelight. He seems to be very private, but it's somewhere in that time. So July 14th, 2016, Ariana went on a Disneyland trip with a bunch of friends, including Mac. It's also where we get this amazing picture of her. I love it. Then a little over a week later, on the 25th, she posts on her Snapchat story that she's playing Pokemon Go with a bunch of friends, including, again, Mac. Summer 2016, what a time. It is all coming back to me right now. Again, he was one of her friends, though, not her boyfriend. She was still dating Ricky Alvarez at the time. Or maybe not. Sorry, because July 26th, the next day, Ariana and Ricky's breakup is announced. And we all know they've broken up for at least a few days before they're going to announce it in public. And then on August 6th of 2016, Ariana releases a remix to her song Into You, and Mac is featured on it. And this was only on SoundCloud, which I feel like SoundCloud was very 2016. I think that was their peak, honestly. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's been fading into the distance ever since, you know? And then August 21st, 2016, Mac and Ariana are seen on a date kissing. And just a few days later, we see them at a tattoo parlor together. They did not get matching tattoos, but still a cute memory. And then August 28th of 2016 was the VMAs. And they did arrive separately, but we obviously got these cute pictures of them at the event. And like I said in my Nina and Ian series, I feel like arriving separately is a smart move if you want less attention on your relationship and more attention on you as an individual and on your career. And it also cements that you're not a PR relationship pretty well. But either way, this was really the first public event that we saw them at together, and they obviously look very cute. Ariana also did an interview with Charlemagne the God when she was at the VMAs, and he did bring up Mac and asked where he was, and she said, being supportive. It's okay to be alone even when you have a boo. So that's kind of a confirmation. But if you had any doubts, you didn't on September 6th because she posted this photo on Instagram of them. I don't know what's happening in this photo, but the caption was baby. So clearly they're together. And on September 9th, Mac releases a song with Ariana, My Favorite Part. Honestly, with how much they collab, I am surprised that nobody ever suspected that they might be a PR relationship in the slightest. And I am not saying that I think they're a PR relationship. I don't. I really think that it was a friendship, professional relationship first, and then they grew a romantic relationship. But I'm just saying, it's interesting to me that it doesn't seem like anybody even speculated about that when they have so many songs together. Also, he did say that this song in particular was not about her. He wrote it before he even met her, apparently. Even though that song was not about Ariana, he did do an interview on the 13th of September with People where he did talk a little bit about Ariana. And first of all, he reiterated multiple times that they started as friends and they will remain best friends and are best friends. But he also said, she's just very warm and comforting. She's very caring, but also we have a lot of fun. We go on adventures. Adventures can be driving around in the car aimlessly. It's great to be able to do nothing and be doing so much. And just a few days later, Mac releases his album, The Divine Feminine. And the song on this album, Cinderella, is confirmed by both of them to be about Ariana, and it is the only song on the album about her, supposedly. So, let's analyze some lyrics, yeah. So here's some lyrics I picked out. I've been waiting all year for this moment. I've been literally curving all these girls for you. But he also says, you used to tell me all the time I ain't your type. Now you always want to spend the night. And two other cute lines, never gonna find nobody better all my life, and, well, all my days now they changin', I got angels, no more Satan, looks like God's on my side this time. And I will say, those lyrics are very sweet. The rest of the song, very sexual, which is a very weird way for me to see these two for some reason, I don't know why. September 22nd, Mac does another interview where they ask him about Ariana, go figure, and they were talking about the album, which, again, none of it is about her except Cinderella. But he said when asked about collabing and that they're dating and would it be weird, he said, just because we're two people who are in love and have a great relationship doesn't mean that I'm going to get weird about this incredible music that we also make together. So you're in love? I love to hear it. And in October, they do a live performance of My Favorite Part, and you can just tell that they are great friends in this performance. At the end, they like shake hands jokingly and walk away. But supposedly, when the camera stopped rolling, they came back out onto the stage and had like a cute little kiss moment. On January 19th of 2017, Mac's 25th birthday, Ariana posts on Instagram a little cute post for him. And in the caption, she calls him her best friend for life / soulmate. I will say though, this post is no longer available on her Instagram. I looked, but I am 99% sure that it is real because multiple news outlets talked about it. In April of 2017, Ariana is on the cover of Cosmo, and in her interview, she does talk about Mac. She was saying how they'd always enjoyed each other's work, but they were so young when they met. And then she said, "We weren't ready at all, though, to be together. It's just timing. We both needed to experience some things, but the love has been there the whole time." Now, April 24th, Mac does an interview with W Magazine. And the interviewer said that he saw them kiss on stage and thought, "Oh, they're out there, open." And Mac said, "Yeah, it's very chill. I don't know, man. I think we're just chilling. It's whatever. That's not the real world." Which, not exactly enthusiastic, but what really weirds me out about that answer is that's not the real world. Again, not accusing them of PR, I'm just saying that's a strange thing to say. They also did touch on his relationship with alcohol and substances because he had spoken about being clean earlier. And he said, "I've spent a good time very sober and now I'm just like living regularly. I think it's important. I don't believe in absolute anything." And he did say that he kind of regretted telling people that he was sober because it just kind of put a magnifying glass on him. But he was glad that he said it because it was important to let everyone know that I wasn't doing effing crazy amounts of hard substances. And I totally understand both of those statements, especially that once you tell people that you're sober, everybody's like extra aware of every single sip that you take. But I will say, on him not believing in absolute anything, I think there are many people who really do have to go completely sober because once they start on one thing, it just spirals. I'm not saying that that's everybody, but I think you kind of have to know the type of person that you are. Anyways, May 23rd of 2017, Ariana is back in the US after her concert in Manchester where there was an attack. That's really all I can say about it on this app. Anyways, he was there to pick her up straight off the plane, and he also canceled a few shows just to be there for her, which is very sweet. On June 4th, he also went back to Manchester with her and performed with her in her One Love for Manchester concert. People noticed at this point that, if you can see right up there, she has a ring with a sizable rock on her left ring finger. So of course, engagement rumors began. Unfortunately though, they were not true. She's just rich and has a lot of expensive rings and doesn't care what fingers she puts them on. Which, lucky her, and also fair enough. On June 25th, Mac posts for Ariana's birthday on Instagram, and the caption reads, "Happy birthday to this adorable pure soul who has reminded me what being happy feels like. Thank you for loving me so good. I think it's supposed to be so well. It is. But I don't care. I love you and can't wait for all of the adventures." Well, doesn't that just cut right into your soul? And then we're skipping a little bit of time, but April 13th of 2018, we see them at Coachella looking very cute together. But the cuteness was not to last much longer. And at the end of April of 2018, Mac and Ariana break up. We didn't know it yet, but supposedly they officially broke up right after Coachella weekend. So that's where I'm putting it. And then May 7th of 2018, Ariana goes on her first date with Pete Davidson. Again, something that we didn't know at the time, but we now know, so I'm putting it in here. She also had said that she had always had a crush on him from the time they met in 2014. Celebrities, they're just like us. Because we all have a crush on Pete Davidson. I actually don't. But most of us do. I'm looking at you. Whoever you are. Imagine if Kim Kardashian was watching this video. I'm sorry, I had to say it. I know that she would never watch this video, by the way, but it'd be funny. May 9th of 2018, the tabloids finally catch up and we find out that Mac and Ariana broke up. And can you guess the reason that they claimed they were breaking up for? Busy schedules! Yes, that's right. What a shocker. And of course, they also said that they're still great friends, which I actually believe in this case. But another source later said that they ultimately struggled for a long time with their relationship and it was basically over last year. Last year being 2017. And on May 10th, the next day, Ariana confirmed it on her Instagram story. She posted this photo of them and with a caption that said, "This is one of my best friends in the whole world and favorite people on the planet, Malcolm McCormick. I respect and adore him endlessly and am grateful to have him in my life in any form at all times, regardless of how our relationship changes or what the universe holds for each of us. Unconditional love is not selfish. It is wanting the best for someone, even if at the moment it's not you. I can't wait to know and support you forever, and I'm so proud of you." Again, I feel that I may have been stabbed in the heart. I'm serious. And a few days later, on May 15th, we find out that they both unfollowed each other on Instagram. Yes, could be hard feelings. I feel like in most situations it is. But in this situation, I feel like they just didn't want to see what each other was up to for a while they were healing. May 17th of 2018, Mac is arrested. It was for a DUI and a hit and run. And his blood alcohol was apparently at a 0.15, but the cops did say that he was the most polite and nice intoxicated person that they'd ever seen. So that's sweet. Anyways, he hit a pole and drove off, so that's the hit and run portion. And I think that a lot of people at this point were pretty worried about him just because he had substance issues in the past. They were worried it was going to come back up, or it was already back up. And then May 21st of 2018, this tweet enters the Twitterverse. I'm not showing it because the app is funky about text, so we're just going to go for this. Mac Miller totaling his G-Wagon and getting a DUI after Ariana Grande dumped him for another dude after he poured his heart out on a 10-song album to her called The Divine Feminine is just the most heartbreaking thing happening in Hollywood. And Ariana saw this. Oh, yes, she did. And she made a huge reply, and I am going to say it now. How absurd that you minimize female self-respect and self-worth by saying someone should stay in a toxic relationship because he wrote an album about them, which, by the way, isn't the case. Just Cinderella is about me. I am not a babysitter or a mother, and no woman should feel that they need to be. I have cared for him and tried to support his sobriety and prayed for his balance for years, and always will, of course. But shaming, blaming women for a man's inability to keep his shit together is a very major problem. And she goes on to say that basically just because she wasn't publicizing it throughout their relationship, it was difficult. Then, June 3rd, 2018, we first see Ariana with an engagement ring. And this one really is an engagement ring. Look at that rock. And that is, in fact, 1 month total. Yes. Just in case you were wondering. If he wanted to, he would. I'm just kidding. That is a joke. Please, don't blame me if you break up with your partner. I'm telling you right now, it's a joke. Anyways, July 23rd, Mac does an interview, and they ask him about Ariana and the engagement, and he said, I was in love with somebody. We were together for 2 years. We worked through good times, bad times, stress, and everything else. And then it came to an end and we both moved on. And it's that simple. And basically, he's happy for her. They're all good. No bad feelings. Then on August 17th, Ariana releases Sweetener, the album. And people thought Better Off was probably about Mac. So let's analyze. The majority of the song, meaning you can see right from the title, she feels like she's better off by herself, focusing on herself and her career. But a few choice lines. She said, I'd rather your body than half of your heart or jealous-ridden comments. And she also said, go on and face it, I'll never be ready for you. September 7th of 2018, Mac passed away. He was 26 years old. It was an OD, which caused a heart attack. He had alcohol in his system as well as 2 substances, one being nose candy and the other starts with an F and ends with nil and often is mixed with nose candy. On September 14th, a week later, Ariana posts on Instagram a video of Mac, and the caption was, I adored you from the day I met you when I was 19, and I always will. I can't believe you aren't here anymore. I really can't wrap my head around it. We talked about this so many times. I'm so mad. I'm so sad. I don't know what to do. You were my dearest friend for so long, above anything else. I'm so sorry I couldn't fix or take your pain away. I really wanted to. The kindest, sweetest soul with demons he never deserved. I hope you're okay now. Rest. Again, I go through full range of emotions every week for y'all. This is the grief period. It's okay. We're going to be fine, everyone. It's going to be fine. Suck it in. That was not appropriate. I'm so sorry. October 14th, we find out that Ariana and Pete are broken up, and their reasoning was way too much too soon, which I think everybody saw. But a lot of people also assumed that it had something to do with Mac's death. I didn't see anything where either of them said anything about that, so I don't feel like it's really fair to assume. But if you have seen something where one of them said it, let me know. February 8th of 2019, Ariana releases Thank You Next. And we all know there is a line about him on Thank You Next. Wish I could say thank you to Malcolm because he was an angel. People also were pretty sure that her song Ghostin' on that album was about Mac. It's basically about being with somebody and still being extremely heartbroken about another person, and I will give you some choice lyrics. Okay, here's some lyrics for your analysis. I know that it breaks your heart when I cry again over him. I know that it breaks your heart when I cry again instead of ghosting him. All right? Though I wish he were here instead, don't want that living in your head. He just comes to visit me when I'm dreaming every now and then. And lastly, she has a song called Imagine on the album, which had a lot of clues that it might be about Mac. For one, he had the word Imagine tattooed on him, but people also said that this was the first time that she had done whistle notes since The Way, which was her first song with Mac, if you don't count the Christmas song. She also has a couple lines on that which pair nicely with Mac's lines in Cinderella, which is about her. For example, when you hungry, I can shut you up with stir fry is Mac's line, and she said, staying up all night, order me pad thai. He said, you used to tell me all the time I ain't your type, and she said, baby, I never thought it would be you. And she also said on Instagram that thank you next is acceptance and imagine is denial, kind of like pretending it never ended. So it's 2019, Mac has passed away. April 12th to 21st is Coachella, and Ariana was on the lineup. And she said that this was a very hard experience for her because every other Coachella experience that she had had was with Mac. So obviously it was a lot of memories. On June 12th, she performed in Pittsburgh, which was Mac's hometown. And when she sang Thank You Next, she could not complete the lyric about Mac. And she actually couldn't sing for a little bit afterwards, which it is a heartbreaking clip to watch. Honestly, I would have included it, except for I was pretty certain I would cry if I watched it again. So we're not going to. But if you want to see it and you feel like you need to cry today, it's on YouTube. On July 9th, Ariana did an interview with Vogue and they did talk about Mac, and she said that directly after his death, she was actually drunk a lot of the time and just incredibly sad, incredibly heartbroken, but it did get her the Thank You Next album because of that heartbreaking creative time. She also said, he was the best person ever and he didn't deserve the demons he had. I was the glue for such a long time and I found myself becoming less and less sticky. The pieces just started to float away. Clearly, she still cared about him until the end, even though they didn't work out romantically. I think that was clear to everybody, really. And then October 30th of 2020, Ariana released the Positions album. And the thing that stuck out to people who were analyzing it online was that in Positions, she sings Heaven Sent You to Me, and you can hear crickets in the background. And then in Just Like Magic, she sings about love letters to heaven, and you hear crickets in the background again. And apparently Mac has an unreleased song called Crickets. So our internet sleuths took this to be a tribute to him. It's a sad note to end on, but I do wish Ariana all of the best of luck and happiness in the rest of her life and career. And rest in peace to Mac. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment any additions you might have or any thoughts or opinions. I'd love to hear them, as well as any series suggestions or new video suggestions in general. And if you want to see more of me and more of my series, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next week with another one.